Oh my goodness, it's the first time filming in this house with my camera. I'm miserable, I've got COVID. Oh my gosh, there's so much to catch up on. I have not had my, I've had my camera and my battery, but I must have left my charger at Robin's house. And so I had to order a new one, new batteries. Okay, let's go back into the theatre. And they just came and I just charged them up and now I can open my camera again. So a lot has happened. A lot. I don't even know where to begin. Obviously we are in our new house. Levi, we're in here. Oh. We're in here, darling, what's the matter? The children have grown. I've not vlogged for ages. I've got lots of stuff on my phone to just intermittently upload. My phone just fell out of my pocket, but nothing, like no consistency whatsoever, and I have to actually find all the videos, which could be very difficult. Where do I begin? We're in our house. This is our house. It's very messy because I've got two kids running around, literally like running circles around me. Yeah, I dropped my phone. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Say hello. You're not in focus. Say focus on my face. Yeah. Oh, okay. What? Do you want this? Yeah. Peel, 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 peel. There you go, Nana. And yay, Nana. So yeah, this weekend, it's Friday today. This weekend was meant to be, because there's been snakes out. I was at least meant to mow the lawn last weekend. And we were meant to get a skip bin and get a dingo and also get pavers and limestone bricks. Basically gonna level this, have some limestone retaining wall from the fence because it's actually higher than our property. What? What? No, my camera. This camera, mummy only. Only mummy holds this camera. Well, obviously I had COVID now, so that's not happening, and this is what I've been dealing with all day. It's very grumpy. And I'm breathless. Uh-oh. Yes, darling. Mummy's trying to do stuff. I have COVID and I feel absolutely SHIT. Levi, I think, had it earlier. I don't know. I don't know if there's two different things that have gone around because Hayden was sick and I was sick. And then Hayden got better and I seemed to be getting better, and then I went downhill again. And then I tested positive for COVID. So I don't know if like two things have gone through one after the other, or if it's just been COVID the whole time. But Hayden's better. Levi's mostly better. He had fevers and was absolutely miserable and sleeping all day. Very much like Hayden when Hayden first had COVID. Alright, I'll be back. Alrighty. We're asleep. He has been really fighting sleep a lot lately. But yeah, I guess I'll try and quickly update you guys. A lot has happened. We're in our house. It's not completed, obviously. There's still lots to do, but it's been put a bit on the back burner because I keep getting sick. Actually, we've been good since we were getting sick literally like non-stop. Like we'd have 2 days where someone wasn't sick and then more sickness would come while we were living with Robin. But since we've been here, we were sick when we first moved in because we had a cold from like when we first moved. And once we got over that, we've been fine until now. So we went a bit, like a month or something, without a cold, though he was teething terribly. He had all 4 canines come in all at once, and obviously a lot of changes, so it's been a bit, it was still a bit hectic, but at least we weren't sick. But now we're sick again with COVID. There's a suspicion that it came from Robin's house anyway, but it might not have. Granny ended up in hospital, and we thought, well, the way the doctors were talking and the way Robin and Kerry were saying it was like she was on her last legs and they weren't sure if she was going to make it till Monday. It's now Friday the week after, so she's obviously made it till Monday. and she's turned around, but they thought she had a stroke, and I think she did have a stroke at first. Yeah, she ended up in hospital, and we went to visit her on Sunday, even though she'd been tested positive for COVID. Everyone was saying that she got it from the hospital, even though she only went into the hospital Thursday afternoon, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, she might have, but she might have also gotten it not from the hospital, from before she went in. We went to visit her on Sunday, because we thought it was going to be our last chance to see her. Luckily, it seems that might not be the case. We've all said our goodbyes, but she's taken a turn and she's a lot better now. She seems to have recovered and hopefully will be out in a month and a half, they're saying. We visited Sunday and we had the full mask on, and Hayden was there too. He had they had like the mini N95 masks, which was really cute. We stood in the corner of the room near the door for less than 2 minutes with full mask and everything on. So I don't think we would have got COVID from that. And I went downhill Sunday night, so there's no way COVID can transmit and like I become symptomatic within hours. Like, unless it's mutated again, I don't think that's possible. I'm starting to wonder because Robin was sick, like coughing, and a couple of days before Granny went in, I was a bit worried because Levi was sick. I did test both kids. It kept coming up negative, but you never know with rat tests. But I did test them, and they were still a bit sick, and I had a class I had to go to on Tuesday, I think it was. So I rang Robin up and I was like, are you sure you're okay to have them? Because obviously they're both not fully recovered. And she said she could have them, it was fine, because she was full of the flu anyway. It was only for a short time. And I was like, oh, okay. She was full of the flu anyway. Hopefully it wasn't my kids, but she was already sick when they came over. There was already a sickness in the house. It was probably COVID, because they don't test. They probably had it, and then that's where I've gotten it from. But there's also apparently one I know has a friend in Armidale that's just tested positive the same day as me. So it's also going around Armidale. So you never know. And my boss's family have all tested positive this weekend as well. So going around everywhere. That's north of the river. Granny's gotten over, which is good. I did find a connection between you guys don't even know about that. I had to have an MRI of my brain because I was suspected to have MS. I had surgery for my hernia, open repair surgery, on the 1st of June, and I was recovering from that and was on Pentadol, and I started trembling, like I felt like I was fully shuddering. But hello, I was just talking to the camera. Like, it wasn't visible on the outside. Like, I could not sleep. It was horrible. I felt so weak constantly because my whole body felt like it was putting so much effort into shivering and trembling, but it wasn't actually trembling. It was the weirdest thing. And I thought it was the Pentadol because it's an opioid. So I weaned off it really slowly. I half the tablets and did everything you're meant to do to wean off drugs slowly, and it did make a difference. And it just kept going even when I hadn't taken it for 2 weeks. Go get your banana then. Googled, as you do, and there's only 3 things that cause that. Internal tremors, they're called. There's essential tremor, which is basically unexplained internal tremors. There's Parkinson's, I think it was Parkinson's anyway, and there's MS. And I have had a lot of symptoms in the past, lots of symptoms. One second, I've got to open some tight teddies. I've had lots of problems, and one of the things that always comes up with all of these symptoms is MS. Never considered it because I'm a bit young for most MS things, and MS is bad, and it was just one of those things that this is a symptom of MS, but it's also a symptom of 100 other things. Until this tremor thing, and I was like, shit, there's only 3 things this could be, and MS is once again one of the possibilities that has constantly been a possibility with everything I've experienced. So I went for an MRI to check for demyelination, and there was none, thank God. though it didn't explain the tremors. But funnily enough, as soon as I had the MRI, like 2 days later, the tremors stopped, and they've not really come back too much. Monday, they started again. Not as bad, mind you, but they've started back again. And I was like, that's weird. It's right as I, tested for COVID and have started being sick with COVID. So I just did a quick Google, internal tremors and COVID, and there's very little research done at this point, obviously. But there was one study that looked at long COVID patients, and there was only like 400 and something participants, but of those 400 and something participants, 37% that had long COVID experienced internal tremors for the first time. I'm like, that is a big, percentage. Basically 40%, okay, I don't like jumping, but 37%, 40%, 4 out of 10 people that have long COVID have started suffering from internal tremors. So I'm like, great. I think it's better than MS, but it's also like it is better than MS, but at least MS, there's lots of research on MS and stuff like that. But with this, yes, it's just internal tremors. What else is going wrong due to long COVID? I did discover that link, and it makes the most sense because it was after I had COVID that they started. It was around my surgery time, but I did get sick around my surgery time, and I tested before I went into surgery, but I never tested that time because I just thought I was the only one that got sick, and I thought it was because of the surgery I was sick, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I got COVID again, and this is the third time I've had COVID. I don't know, but regardless, I've definitely got long COVID because ever since I had COVID the first time, it took me months to recover, and even still, I've got an arrhythmia, I've got shortness of breath and heart problems. They've never gone away since I had COVID the first time. I'm pretty sure Levi has it. I don't know if Hayden has it. Got sick with fevers and was just sleeping constantly. He wasn't making it an hour. He'd wake up late, having slept in, wouldn't even make it an hour, and would go down for another nap. Was napping 3-4 times a day, which is exactly what Hayden did when Hayden had it last year or a year ago. As for me, I can't tell what is COVID and what is pregnancy. I'm assuming I will have announced my pregnancy by this video. But yeah, I'm 6 weeks today. I need to start doing updates because I haven't done any yet. So might film my first one tonight or something. I don't know, we'll see. I'm very nauseous on and off. Luckily it's not steady. It is getting worse. The whole pregnancy, since 4 weeks, I was a little bit nauseous, just tiny little waves here and there. But the last couple of days, coinciding with COVID, so I don't know how much is pregnancy and how much is COVID. But the last couple of days have been miserable. I've been struggling with the nausea, and yesterday I felt like I was going to actually throw up. It was really bad. I also don't know when any of these videos are coming out because I'm hoping to hide the pregnancy till Christmas. Don't know if it's going to be possible because I'm already showing just from bloat, which obviously is just bloat, so it can be written off because I can technically suck in. But I show early. I remember with Hayden, I was 16 weeks when I announced on Facebook, and it was at a New Year's Eve party. A friend of mine there said once I told her I was pregnant, she was saying how she wanted to say something, but she knew I'd recently had surgery for endometriosis, so she didn't want, she thought it might have just been bloating from the endo and all that sort of stuff, so she didn't want to ask, but she said she suspected I was pregnant, and that was me really trying to hide the fact I was pregnant, and I was only 16 weeks with my first then, so you can imagine how big I was with Levi at 16 weeks. This time around, I'm going to be huge, and Christmas isn't until I'm 20 weeks, so I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but the idea is we're going to wait until the annual Christmas party and then announce, because then we can announce to everyone at once, and we won't get bombarded with presents for the baby because hopefully it'll be close enough to Christmas that they won't go out and buy presents for an unborn baby. Getting things off my chest and updating you guys as much as I can. It's going to be a very long and boring video, but there's a lot that has happened. Like, I don't even know how it's possible. Oh, the other thing is, I am on my last semester at uni. I've got 1 unit left, and I'm struggling to do that 1 unit because I'm now sick and stuff keeps happening. But anyway, stuff keeps going wrong, like Luke's car breaking down, and Luke's car, don't even get me started on that. That could be a whole video in itself of the story of Luke's bloody car. Rescuing baby birds, my car blew both tyres at once, which was real clever of me. I think the back tyre, I felt the back tyre go, and it like made me dip to the side. It was the back left tyre. It made me dip to the left slightly, perfectly to hit the storm drain and shred the front tyre and the rest of the back tyre. So that was fun, and I couldn't even change the tyre because both tyres were shredded and blown. So I had to get a full tow and all, and of course it was the good tyre, one of the good tyres that got blown and shredded, because I had 2 bad tyres and 2 good tyres, and I had, so I had to get 3 tyres, and then there was like 3 for the price of 4. I mean 4 for the price of 3 special on, so I may as well get all 4 tyres done. So I had to pay for all 4 tyres, which cost like $700 or something ridiculous. I haven't changed tyres since my my Starlet, my tiny little Toyota Starlet, which had 13-inch wheels, and the tyres cost $90 each back then. So the fact that these tyres were like $200-300 each meant to be, and I was like, sugar honey iced tea. Yeah, just that sort of stuff happening, and then stuff with Granny and family stuff and lots of drama. Uni stuff has been a drama as well. Like, I had an exam on Monday and I deferred it for the fact Granny was in hospital, and we thought that was her last day in hospital, like her last days, and the kids were sick, and I was just like, no, I can't, I need to focus on family at the moment, I can't sit an exam. And she was like, yep, that's fine, you deferred. The deferred assessment was then meant to be Thursday, and lucky I deferred because I had COVID, and then obviously I couldn't sit the deferred exam that I was meant to sit on Monday on Thursday because I have COVID and I'm sick, I'm miserable. So, and then the teacher's going away for 10 days, so she was like, can I do your exam on Friday the 29th? And I was like, I'll be in Melbourne. She was like, okay, that's fine. How about Thursday the 21st? And I was like, that is the only day I'm busy that week. I'm working all day because I'm working at the Claremont Showgrounds from 8:30 to 1, doing some stewarding and whatnot for the agricultural schools have a competition. So I'll be stewarding for that in the morning, and then I'll go clean up and go to my actual job from 4 to 7. I got it pushed back. Usually I start at 1, but I'll do 4 to 7 that day so that I can do the other job. Yeah, it's going to get hectic for the next couple of weeks. It's chill until Thursday, and then I got that hectic day. Friday I've got my first scan. I'll be 7 weeks, and we've got our first ultrasound. Obviously our cows are going to be where I'm also doing cattle club, which is basically where we get steers, although there's a couple of heifers, and I swear a bull or 2. But I don't know why. Every year's been just steers, but we've definitely got a heifer, and one of the steers has some suspiciously large things that should have been removed if he was actually a steer, so I'm a bit sus about that. But anyway, we take the steers and heifer from the paddock, get them used to us, get them used to being brushed and washed and walking on a halter and lead. And then we take them to the show and basically show them off. They go through judging and get judged on Sunday, and then they get auctioned off to the highest bidder on Monday. Then they go on the truck and it's hook and hoof judging. So hoof, walking around, they get judged on that Sunday. Hook is they get judged for their carcass. I don't know if people realise that yet, and I'm a bit worried about some of the first years that haven't seemed to click. They like keep joking about how they're going to be the ones to buy their cows, and I'm like, you realise it's hoof and hook. Even if you buy your cow, you still have to take it to the abattoir. That's their destination. So I'm a bit worried about them, but I guess they'll figure it out eventually. Cows are going to get there a bit earlier. They usually get there Thursday, Friday, but because of this ag school competition, they're getting there a bit earlier, so some of them can be used for that. Monday is auction, and then Tuesday I fly out to Melbourne. This is bizarre. I am doing a project at uni. It's a voluntary, I volunteered for it because I'm an idiot and need more to do. But I basically got an email and it was like, is there anything you think could change at uni? You're going to get some fund money, I think it was $1,500 towards doing your project if you want to put on some workshops at uni for students, or, you know, something to change at uni for the better of the university and the students and the staff and whatnot. And I was like, you need more parenting rooms. So I sort of just wrote it all down and said it all in the hopes it would be read and someone would be like, oh yeah, that's an interesting point, maybe we'll consider that in the future. Didn't realise it was a big thing that was being considered, and they were like, awesome, this student wants to advocate for it, let's give her this job, and she now has to do all of the work. And I was like, yay. I had to go in front of a panel of judges and hectic, and then I had to do so I first did that little like quiz thing online, and then I had to sit in front of a panel who discussed more in detail what I wanted to do, what I wanted to change. And then once I was accepted, I then had to do a speech in front of, I think it was like 60 to 100 people, something like that. I think it was 60, including the like president of the, like the leader of the uni and stuff like that, which was terrifying. Vice chancellor, I don't know, someone about my project. And then I had to start my project and actually make change. And it's been a journey and a half and rather difficult with these two. But I haven't used any of my funding yet. So I got a call last Monday from someone that used to run the program and has moved on to something else. But the girl now running the program went on leave for 10 days or something. And she just was like, what are you planning on spending your funding on? And I said, oh, well, I can't use it to get a room for these reasons, because the previous rooms cost like bucket loads of money. I was going to use it on signage. And she goes, no, that's not your responsibility. You can put in the recommendations of what signage needs to go where, and the uni has to pay for that because that's their responsibility. And I was like, isn't the money I'm getting from the uni anyway? But whatever, I'm not saying nothing. You can use the funding for your own development, like PD. And she was like, would you like me to send you to a conference and use the money on the conference? And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good, okay. Thinking, because quite often these sorts of conferences cost a couple $100. The one I went to previously, discounted student tickets were $200 or $300. I got in for free because I volunteered, and I didn't actually see much of the actual conference. I just snuck in now and then for some of the interesting parts, but I was like doing ticket sales and actually working there. So yeah, I thought she meant like the money would go towards the actual conference. And then she was sending me to a conference, and the actual conference is free. It's students as partners, and it's like free for uni students to attend. So I was like, oh. And then she goes, okay, you need to organise your flights. And I was like, flights? Where the hell is this conference that she's sending me to? It's in Melbourne. And I was like, okay. She's sending me to Melbourne the week before the grand final. I fly out the day of the grand final parade. And I'm just like, I'm just mind blown that I was offered this. So Tuesday, I fly out to Melbourne. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I have the conference, Students as Partners conference. And then Friday, I fly back again. And yeah, so the exam, they wanted me to do the Friday. And I was like, sorry, I'm in Melbourne. Oh no, he's away.